Hello, beloved. It's me, Robin Hallett, intuitive healer and light sparkler at robinhallett.com. And this is Tea with Robin. On today's episode, witness and welcome it in. This is a time of deep feels. It's also a time to put everything on the chopping block and see what needs to go. See what wants to stay. See what needs to be rejudged in this time now. Our inspiration is Lingua Franca, coming to a new language together built on love. And our letter comes from hashtag it's okay not to be okay. If you're not always feeling in control of your mood these days, it's all okay. You're in good company, so stick around. Come grab a cup of yum yum and meet me here. Well, hello there, beautiful friend. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's me, Robin, sending love and a hug from my heart to yours. Welcome back to the podcast, Tea with Robin. This is episode 93. If it's your first time here, hello, it's me, Robin. I hope you found this place in one of those spooky good coincidences that will open your heart, excite you and delight you, and keep you coming back for more. Boy, if this is ever a time for spiritual nourishment, it's now, am I right? So, my friend, how is the weather in your heart today? How are you doing? How are you feeling these days? There's so many things rolling and changing and moving in our world now. How are you? If it feels right, you can place a hand on your high heart and just let's take a breath together. Check in with our hearts. Always, my prayer is that you are connected to your highest self, connected to your heart, and continue to hold the hand of the little girl or little boy inside who might be feeling tenderly, intensity, any kind of worry, fear, struggle, stress, anything like that. That's my prayer, that you hold on and stay present. Over here, the weather in my heart is good. I have to say, I feel just as fired up as I have been telling you the last few weeks about world events, what's going on, awareness, deepening. And I'm always saying how the outer mirrors what's going on the inner. I'm definitely feeling that. And I've noticed in myself, and I hope this makes sense, I hope you can relate, that as I make the bolder moves to have a better outer experience, step into my fear, show up, and be of service, make the moves to help my friends, help support one another in staying in the light. I'm also taking some new courses right now just to help myself keep in a place of heart-centered awareness. I'll tell you about that in a bit. There's the same work is happening on my insides, and there is a greater presence and confidence and awareness in my own heart. I feel it. And I've noticed that even some friends who know me well, and you friends who listen to the podcasts, I've never gotten that feedback before, but I'm starting to get it now, that there's a change in my energy. And I appreciate that reflection. I feel it too. So, weather in my heart is good. Recording this on a Saturday, forget whatever I said like three episodes back. I'm done trying to get everything done before the weekend because, I realize it was good to try that for a few days, but I realized that that's really trying to stay aligned with the old way. And this is a time of change and transformation, and that means everything's on the chopping block as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why I called it the chopping block. What does that even mean? I'm just saying everything's open for well, I like that. Everything's on the chopping block. It all can go. And we can create a new normal, a new way of doing things. And so I've just sort of decided that it's okay. And it feels so good. And if you needed to hear that and you need to try that on, it's okay. Here I go. It's okay. You can do something new. You can change your mind. You can do it different. You don't have to stick to the old script. Amen. Woo! So how about we have a little cheers? Did you bring a cup of yum yum today? I have some coffee here. I've got a number of things. And I am recording in the Pillow Fort again. This is the formerly known as Healing Room. And before that, it was known as the living room at my house. I love the space in here. It just feels so, I don't even know. If you've been here to see me in session, or you've come for some of the healing groups I used to do in person, or you come see me on the morning lives, it's all happening in this room. And so it just feels right for right now anyway to be here, to be in this space together with you in the Pillow Fort. So I've got a cup of coffee, a glass of almond milk, because guess what else I brought? Yes, banana Sammies. It just feels like the traditional snack of this time these days. And I'm going to raise my cup of coffee to you and say, welcome to a new day. Welcome to a new experience. Welcome to infinite possibility, miracles, and light. Cheers. So good. So there's a lot happening, isn't there? There's a lot happening. I'm not sure if you're listening every week to the podcast, but the last few weeks I've been talking about, I'm talking about the journey of waking up, becoming a conscious participant in your own life, in your own heart, in your own journey, and also in the world. Already I'm getting choked up. In the world as well. To be one continuous you everywhere you go. Meaning, that's been my wish for myself. It's like, I want to be me everywhere I go. And what do I stand for? What is my philosophy? What is my principle? What is my truth? Yeah, for me, for forever, I've always said when my head hits the pillow at night, I want to feel good about the day I had. I want to be proud of myself, and I want to know that I'm doing right for my journey, for my friends, for myself, for the world, for God, for spirit. I want to know, I know I'm doing right. That really matters to me. So I've been talking to you about the movement Black Lives Matter, working to awaken in my own edges around that, talking to friends, learning more, a lot of learning this week. It feels so good. And also talking to a lot of friends. There's just a lot of different energy going. Fear of making a mistake, fear of getting it wrong, fear of taking responsibility. So more blame will be heaped on you. And as the realization continues to dawn, more and more and more awakening, sadness that this is what's going on. And I'm feeling this on all sides, There's such awareness happening on all sides. I want to say it's all okay. All of how you're feeling is okay. All of how you're feeling is okay. We have to start there. Don't you think? Really, you have to start there. If you can't embrace and accept where you are, how will you ever leave? Think about your journey. You have goals for yourself, right? You have wishes for the world. You have wishes for your life. You have wishes how you would like things to be We talk a lot about transformation here. Transform on the journey, evolve, ascend. You want to leave where you are and go somewhere else, is what I'm saying. If you can't acknowledge where you've been and where you're standing today, you won't go. You can't leave because you don't know where you are. How are you going to get there? It's so fun. Try to put that location where you want to go somewhere more than 500 miles away from where you are into GPS. And it's like, how the heck am I going to tell you how to get there? If you have to put in at least your zip code, something, give me something. So I want to say all of how you're feeling is okay. It's so important for us to learn how to witness what we're feeling, what we're thinking, and welcome it in. Welcome it in. So if you're feeling concerned that you're going to make a mistake, or you're afraid of being seen as a racist, you don't want to say the wrong things, you have the fear. And I'm going to talk, what I think I'll do today is talk in broader terms, because here's what I know. Anywhere we work on these issues, it helps the whole. I've always stood for that, helping us wake up. And so let me speak in those broader terms. Anywhere we're afraid of getting it wrong, or of taking responsibility, or overstepping, being too personal, not having permission, not knowing what to honor and what to own and what to feel. It's all okay. You have to start there. What would it be like to experience your feelings, experience your thoughts, and not take it personally? This whole thing about being a spiritual being on a journey, it's true. You're God in a body. You're light expressing itself as you, the personal self, in this lifetime. So the personal self isn't even really fully who you are. If the personal self is feeling feelings and thinking thoughts, it's a practice to not align solely with that, isn't it? To only be aligned with anger, or only be aligned with the fear of not belonging, or only become the energy of mistakes or guilt. That's not all of who you are. Wouldn't it be cool to witness and not take it personally? Not carry a story of badness, not carry a story of how you're a horrible person. That's what we need to do. This will be how you make a difference, is to address what's really feeling hot and fresh and present now. Okay? The thing is, if we can't admit it, if we can't acknowledge it, if we can't honor it, then we can't be here. We can't be here and be present, and that means we can't change it. We can't leave. We can't evolve, because we can't even name where we are, like I was saying before. We can't even name where we are now. So I am noticing how people are defended and guilty and afraid, or I see a lot of blame happening. For me, I just feel like blame is another way of deflecting energy. And that's me. I would much rather look at my part and sit with my energy and sit with what's going on for me than to blame, because things don't exist in a bubble over there. There's energy going on everywhere when you're in a conflict with someone. Anyway, the point about that was I can't evolve if I can't name it. So we actually end up unintentionally holding ourselves back from evolving by continuing to deny what is for us. So that's the question. What is for you? What's here for you? What's going on now? And I know when I ask friends to do that, welcome it in, witness it, it's almost like in session, I'm talking friends in healing sessions, I'm looking at them, I can see how it's going, and it's almost like, people are afraid for some reason. If I acknowledge how it's feeling, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here, or it's going to get worse. It's going to get much, much worse. I can't count how many times somebody has said to me, if I start crying now, they're going to have to take me away and lock me up. And it's like, I'll go off the deep end and I'll never come back. I'll get so depressed. I'll go so far in my despair. I'll never come out. And with so much love, I say that's total BS. I'm not saying you're making it up. I'm saying it's not true. The exact opposite is happening. When we cannot sit with how we're doing, when we cannot welcome and witness and welcome it in with love, that's why we stay stuck. Those are the friends I see who for 8 and 10 years are saying the exact same things. They come back and see me after long, long absences, and they're exactly where they were, if not worse. Friends, it is really about put it on the chopping block. Let's pull it out. Let's look at it. Let's take a peek. Let's take responsibility for our journey, for the spirit. Let's treat this as an honor. There is light flowing through our veins, expressing itself as us in this lifetime. What version of us do you want to be? I care very much about being on the right side of things for me. And when I say right, I mean it feels good and right in my heart. Fully acknowledging my imperfection and that I need to learn. There's a ton I need to learn. I'm excited about that. When there are days that I feel down or afraid, I want to help myself. So I will sit with it. And I really get that there's resistance in that. For a lot of us, there's intense resistance in doing that. I get that. I watch people. I'll say, like I was saying before, put your hand on your heart. Do it. I'll wait. Come on. I can see you're not doing it. Like I'm looking at them on the camera. I can see. Put your hand. And they'll start suddenly wanting to tell me the most fascinating story for like 20 minutes that is just really so they can avoid the intensity of being present. How would it be to know that it's scary to get present? It's scary to be here. It's scary to feel your feelings. That's you taking responsibility for your journey, though. And that's actually something you really, really want. You want to be somebody who can witness and welcome their feelings so that you can leave this place. You can evolve. I don't know anybody who isn't interested in, I'm doing well. Well, you can't get there if you won't do what I'm saying. And I'm thinking about a friend and will say, I don't want to do it. I don't want to put my hands on my heart and acknowledge because I don't like what's there. Do you ever have that? I don't like what's there. When I get quiet, I don't like it. Well, have you ever not taken out your garbage like 2 or 3 days longer than you should have taken out the garbage? I tell you what, every time I go to make chicken and I throw that thing in the bottom of the chicken container, it's a thing. It's like a spongy thing. I throw that in the garbage. I'm like, gonna have to take out the garbage tomorrow. And then you don't take out the garbage for a few days. Well, that's what happens. You think, I'm not going to look at this. Oh yeah, I'm not going there. Oh yeah, no. If I just pretend, it will go away. It doesn't go away. It gets stinky. It putrefies. And what I know is that a lot of additional struggle and stress and fear and illness is born from that place in us. Dis-ease comes from that. I can't sit with what's happening. I can't allow the vibration of what I'm actually already here. I'm resisting, I'm denying what already is. That's what creates problems, right? So whatever metaphor I can use to help you get there, that's what I'm interested in today. It's important to acknowledge how you're feeling. That's you taking responsibility for the spirit flowing through your, the energy flowing through your veins. So we have to sit with where we are. And, do I need to remind you how amazing you are? Do I need to remind you how beloved you are? Do I need to tell you again how much, love looks at you and sees itself? In the Course in Miracles, it says, love created me like itself. That's who you are. If you tell another story, it's just not helpful. We need to practice. And I wanted to address, because I have been talking about defendedness a lot lately on the morning lives. I don't know if you catch the replays. They're all up on YouTube. They're on IGTV now, but my YouTube channel, Robin Hallett on YouTube, and the links are below. Also, if you go to robinhallett.com 93, anything I share link-wise will be there. I've been talking a lot lately about being defended. The energy of, I experience defendedness, energetically speaking, as a discomfort allowing what is to be here, to be open and present with what is. So it's sort of like a denial of what is. And it's born in fear. It's not really a real energy. It's an illusory energy that again, born in fear. It's of the ego. And so it's a whole lot of nothing, this defended energy. Nobody likes being blamed. Nobody likes feeling like they're the bad one. I think we all know what it's like to be called out, to be, nobody likes these feelings. You have to try on. All I can give you are the Robin words today. And I'm really trying to stay open to what's coming to me to relay to you. So it's not really even the Robin words. I'm asking Spirit to do these episodes lately because I get scared too. I've been scared too. I've been talking to my friends who are, trying to help me understand things. And there's always something new I haven't considered or thought of. And the only way we're doing this now is to stay open. So the defended energy is just illusion. It's not even real. It's born in fear and it takes us out. That's the design. It's taking us out. But something I like to consider is, flipping this around a little bit. I can't understand you. I can't have compassion for you. I can't have empathy for you. I can't stand in your shoes, in my imagination, if I can't do it for me first. If I will not stay present for myself, how can I even say I'm going to be present for you? I'm not. Have you ever had that experience where you're sharing something really heartfelt with a friend, and when it's their turn to talk, they don't respond to you. They just tell you something else about themselves? No response. Feels terrible not to be acknowledged. And over time you learn, oh yeah, that's somebody who's not really invested in themselves, in being present in themselves. And so they can't be present with me. And what the heck am I doing giving my heart to somebody like that, by the way? That's another episode, you guys. What am I doing giving this person my sacred heart space? What I need to do is be praying for them, that they awaken and helping them. And I do that. But how can I understand you if I can't understand me? So if I'm in my defense, I'm not in my center. I'm not even present. So if that resonates for you, last week's episode, I talked about how to become undefended in an energetic sense. And today I just want to try flipping it around, because think about it like, I want to understand people. I want to understand the issues at the heart of this movement. I know I do. Or maybe you want to understand the issues at the heart of your kids' challenges right now, or what's going on in the COVID world. Again, translate what I'm talking about to your specific life. It matters to me that you do that. If I can't, I want to understand you, but I refuse to be present in myself, I'm not going to understand you. So let's not waste any more time. Okay? Let's not do that. So the thing about it is, could you consider it that way? Could you take an experience that you keep running into and try something different? Because really, I don't feel like we can help how we feel. It just is. But what we can help is how we allow the feelings to fester or putrefy, or how we allow them to evolve and heal. That's all up to us. We are responsible for that as adults, for sure. So could you remember a time when you were up against it and nobody had your back? That's kind of the experience I've been going to. Not that this is all about me, but just to give you an example, consider a time when you were vulnerable, when you needed help, and you weren't believed, or they didn't have your back, or they blamed you, they made you. A lot of us can relate to that feeling. I know I certainly can. That's where I feel we can begin, is to sit with our own stories and have compassion for our experience, and to start to say to ourselves in a new way, I am with you. This feels a little weird at first when I teach people this. Put your hands on your high heart. Picture yourself there. I'm thinking of this time when I was 12 years old and I got beat up after school. And it was really, really horrible. We have this choice before us. We can continue to relive the experience for the rest of our lives and affirm that the world is a dangerous place and at any moment it's going to happen again. And so we stay in this defended, afraid place, or we can stand right here and say, I am with you. I am with you. I am with you. From you to you. I watch people try it in session. I see the light dawning. I see their energy around. I can usually see a halo around people's heads as we're talking, and it expands. The energy expands. The white light already around their field is getting brighter and thicker around them. There's an expansion happening. So witness yourself. Go back to a time that was really hard. Like I say, me, oh God, after school, this pack of girls following me home, chasing me around. The terror I felt. And running to my mother for help, and her being so sick and tired of I don't even know what. Life, so overwhelmed, pushes me out the door, locks the door behind me, and I can't get back in. And she says, don't come back till this is done. That didn't embolden me. I was already terrified. That did not, moments later I was on the ground being pummeled. So I begin there. I hold space for me. because I want to hold a bigger space for you, I have to first start with me. And that is not selfish, and that is not you doing something wrong. You can't make that mistake now because you want to be mindful and thoughtful about our friends. All of our friends. You have to be awake in yourself and in your center. Find your center before you can do anything helpful. Ask yourself, what did I need to feel safe and seen, heard, honored? What would I have liked? What needed to happen to make that right? Give yourself time. You could even write this out, this experience. Again, no, it is not selfish. This is self-compassion. This is healing. And so many of us don't want to write this out or tell the story because we don't like how it sounds. For a long time, I didn't tell the story. That one story. I just started telling it out loud, by the way. I'm 51. I was 12. So it's okay if some things take time. But don't be afraid to go there. And just note, if you have stories, note them. Witness them. But this is the way we are going to move through this time. This is the way we are going to be welcomed in as allies. This is the way we are going to enter the new world. And for our inspiration coming up, I'm going to talk to you about something super cool called Lingua Franca. I've talked about this before on different episodes and in the morning lives. A new language, a new common language. But this is where we begin. Compassion for you. Learning how to stand still and allow the vibration, the frequency, the energy you're already carrying. Hi, that stinky chicken thing in the garbage, it's already stinky, friends. Keeping the lid on the garbage and pretending it's not there, it's still stinky. It's not changing anything. No, it's not. So, it starts here. This is where we begin. And all of how you're feeling is okay. Be so very proud of taking responsibility for yourself as a spirit being on a journey, expressing him or herself through you. I don't think our spirit energies have masculine or feminine, by the way. But, I certainly identify. I don't even want to get into that. You guys, there's so many landmines this week. So I hope somewhere in there was a helpful message for you. And, just to say, I love you. You're doing a great job. These are intense times. And again, even if you're not thinking about the major movement now, it's all right. You're okay. You're doing great. A lot of you, school just let out for the summer, and you're like, oh my gosh, thank God, school is out. And you realize, wait, it's all been homeschooling. Now it's summer home, just wherever you're at. Be so very kind and gentle as you explore. Okay? And I vote we have some more coffee. I didn't even have a banana yet. We better have some banana. I made a cute little plate today. I got the little dipping bowl and the little mini fork. These are my mom's sterling silver forks. Don't tell anyone I put them in the dishwasher. They're pretty much black. You know, even that. Who says I have to polish the silver? Who says I can't run it through the dishwasher, right? Let's be free. If we're really gonna move into a new way, everything's open. Everything on the chopping block now. So good. I actually just went and got a little more almond milk. This is going to be the new thing. I'm going to be here having almond milk and peanut butter banana sandwiches with you for the duration. And, you know I was kind of being jokey before about putting everything on the chopping block, but it really is such a healer to allow yourself to question everything now and allow yourself to make change. Change that supports you, change that supports your journey, change that supports things being easier for you. It's such a healer. Allowing yourself to move with ease. It matters. So, I think about things like being in the pillow fort now, and I have a whole office upstairs I'm not using for now. So good to just let yourself question things, let yourself do it different, and see what the healing effects are for you. Why do you have to do it the way you've always done it? Is there a more, is there a better approach for you? Do you always have to do it the way you always did it? What I'm finding being here in the pillow fort is that there's a feeling of newness and freshness and also cozy, comfortable vibes. And it also feels very nourishing and nurturing and healing. And there is a cocoon, a feeling of a cocoon. And you know what? I need that cocoon right now. It's a scary time. Things are different in the world. And so this isn't even in the inspiration, my friend. But I wanted to say, let yourself do the things that bring comfort. Change it up. Let yourself have it how it needs to be now. It's okay. So inspiration today, what I wanted to talk about was something called Lingua Franca. I was just going to Google this because I wanted to make sure. Okay, Google, define Lingua Franca.
Here's the definition of lingua franca: a language that is adopted as a common language between speakers whose native languages are different.
I love that so much. I've talked about this before here on the podcast. Lingua Franca, I've been talking about it in the lives. So you heard what Googly had to say. But for me, for Robin, I'm thinking about it in terms of our healing. This is a time, no matter what you are walking through now, no matter how you're trying to hold your heart or hold your family or hold the world or hold the movement, hold the conversations that you're having. It's about understanding your own perspective. That's your language. That's the one half of the lingua franca. That's, your native language is your own experience. Then you have the other person's experience or the other culture's experience or the other color's experience or the, all of it. And then you have this middle ground place where we step into something new. We join together in a new place, lingua franca. And the lingua franca is love for me in healing. Whatever we're resolving, whatever we're healing, whatever we're coming, sometimes it's families that I'm sitting with or a couple that I'm sitting with in session, and it's like, here it is. It's not you or me my word or your word. It's not my way or your way. It's not the wronged party or the guilty party. We need to start to come to a place where we meet in a new space, in a new place. Rumi said, out beyond ideas of wrongdoings and right doings, there's a field. I'll meet you there. That's where we need to go now. Lingua Franca. A new language, a new way, a new land, a new patch of lawn. I'll meet you out there. Out beyond right doing and wrongdoing, there's a field. I'll meet you there, my friend. Our willingness is everything. Our willingness to find that common place, that new place where we can begin a new dialogue. It's everything. So I hope that feels meaningful in whatever way you want to apply that in your world today. I know I love it. It really gives me a lot of encouragement and a sense of, yes, I feel a deep knowing that, yes, this is the way through any kind of trauma or conflict. Yeah, lingua franca, my friend, lingua franca. We need it. If you got a friend that you're on the outs with, or somebody you're struggling to understand, or somebody, sometimes we think of it like the gap when you're on your healing journey and somebody you love is not on the similar journey and they're not awake or they're not woke to the times, whatever it is. How can you develop a lingua franca? So we come out of the duality, me against you, your word against my word, my knowing pitted against your knowing. It's so good. Yay. Did I actually just start clapping? Yes, I did. Yay. Okay. So this is the part before I read today's letter, and thank you so much. A few of you actually sent letters. I'm going to need more, please. Really. If you've been thinking about that, really, 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 I could use a letter relevant to our times now, you know? If that's you, please think about it. hello@robinhallett.com. But the point was, let's talk about, I love your support with the podcast. This love that we share here, this light that we share here, this awakening that we're doing here, more of our friends need it. There are people going around. I always think about in the Course in Miracles, there's a section called the Manual for Teachers. It says, there are people already asking for the love you're here to share. They're already searching for it. So I hope you'll help people find it in whatever way feels right and authentic for you, if you feel called. And if you want to just say a prayer for me, not just, because that's everything. Send some love my way, send some light. I could definitely use for courage and, wow, look at that. I could use it for strength and courage and to remember who I truly am. That's always my prayer too. And I gladly say the same for you, my friend. These are wild and woolly times, and we really need to huddle together. It's important. And so, yes, please share this on. If you want to support the work financially, there are plenty of fun things to buy, courses to take, or you can always make a donation. And I'm offering healing sessions for the reals. They're the bomb. Yeah, so say I. And a review. Thank you so much. A few of you have left some new reviews, and I appreciate all of that helps. I know it's a big world with lots and lots and lots of people, and I'm always just interested in our family finding each other. That's so all around the world. And our family, it's, all sides, all walks, all religions, all colors, all knowings, all perspectives. It's the truth, isn't it? Yeah, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it very much. So this week's letter, this goes out to you, Tiffany, and thank you so much for sending it in. Hi, Robin. Thank you so much for everything that you do, now and always. It is appreciated so much. I felt compelled to write today because maybe others are feeling this way too. I'm not sure if it's the energy with the current world situation or being cooped up indoors and getting used to new normal, but I'm feeling extra crispy these days. It feels like I'm good, things are great. Think of what you're grateful for. Make time to work out. Keep a positive attitude. Do things for self-care and be aware of what you need. Breathe. I feel like I'm taking care of myself, but even with all of these reminders, sometimes I feel like I'm just going to snap out of impatience, out of anger, out of fear, out of what exactly, I don't know. It happens out of the blue, over the strangest things. Maybe there's something deeper going on that needs healing. Maybe I need to take even more time for myself. Maybe it's some sort of awakening. Either way, I wanted to write in case others can relate and hear some words of comfort and healing on this topic. Or maybe others are feeling this way too. I'm trying to put down the clipboard, as you might say, but it feels glued to my hands and I'm not sure how to let go or what that would feel or look like. Thank you for taking the time to read this. With love, Tiffany. It's such a beautiful question. It's such a real topic, a real issue. And thank you for writing. It's sort of like this time, with everything happening, it's very easy to forget that you're here. You're in there, inside yourself, on your own journey, and you need time and care and attention. Beyond just care and feeding, beyond just doing all the right things. And sometimes, it's really good to stop and ask ourselves, why am I doing these practices that I do? Why am I practicing this self-care? Why? The answer I come to is, I want to take care of myself. I want to be okay, but also and this is going to maybe sound radical, maybe it won't surprise you. So much of what we're doing is because we're trying to be good people. We want to be a good person. We want to do our spiritual journey the right way. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like there's some invisible scorecard we're trying to get all the good marks on. And, this is the time for your very own knowing. This is the time for your very own knowing. What do you know about this time for you? We have to put our hands on our high heart, hug ourselves, both hands, one over the other, and close our eyes. Let's do it right now. put one hand, put the other hand, and feel free. The other hand can be my hand, friends, or the hand of somebody. Let the other hand be the hand of somebody you love or somebody who has meant a lot to you. And let's just breathe for a moment. How are you doing? A lot of us are not okay right now. And my question to that is, can you be okay with the not okayness? Without needing to fix it or make it go away or some spiritual cheesy of doing some cheesy spiritual move to make it go away. Did you know that you're not doing anything wrong if you're in a bad mood or you're cranky? Did you know that you're still on a journey and haven't lost any progress? Did you know that real people have real feelings? This is a time of great awakening, and I've been saying this for a while now. We're breaking on through. We have to break through. It's important every day that we allow a little space just to be, just to unwind, just to process, just to let ourselves take the big, deep breaths, just to lay on the bed, lay on the couch for a few minutes, just to be. I call this the big unwind. It's okay if you're not always charging up the next hill of your journey, of your self-care journey, of your healing journey, of your spiritual journey. We can unwind. So the other thing I'm tuning into, I'm feeling into is, and this is something I've been noticing in myself, in me as well. Is it me or myself? I've been feeling this. That feeling of pressure building. You're talking about feeling like you could snap, feeling crispy. There's pressure building there. And it's important, you matter the most. In your circle, in your life, you matter the most. In my circle, in my life, I matter the most. Or sometimes, you know how I say, we don't drop the baby and the baby is us. It's you, it's me, we're the baby. If there's pressure building, if you're feeling crispy, in a way it's like saying we're feeling agitated. Feeling agitated is not something just to notice and do nothing about. As you keep, as I keep trying to pick up the clipboard, the cruise director clipboard, and take care of everybody else and take care of all the things I take care of and, keep smiling and all that. That's not right. When you're hurting, you need to stop and tend to the hurt. And irritation, crispiness is a form of hurting. So don't be afraid to ask yourself, when you put your hands on your heart, what's going on here, kiddo? And what are you needing? And what needs to change? Because something needs to give here. Something's got to give. Some questions I would ask you. Do you feel like you're tending to your real needs? Are you allowing for things like a nap in the day, a nap, laying down, resting? Are you allowing space for that unwinding I was just talking about? Feeling like we're going to snap is okay. It's how we're feeling. It's important to know. I can't say that enough to you. I think so many of us, I feel it, so many of us, whether I sit with you in session or I know you casually through the podcast or so many of us struggle with this feeling of it's not okay to be however I am. It's not okay to be exactly as I am. However I am needs to be a certain version of myself that is acceptable, pleasant, polite, sweet, smiling, caring, interested, genuine. But if those things in any given moment aren't your authentic impulse, they're not your authentic response, then that's still you caretaking instead of you just being yourself. So give yourself a timeout, give yourself some space, change things up. Since we've been on quarantine, have things changed in your life? Has work changed? The way you work, the way you do things, have things changed? Have you made some changes? It's important to look at these areas and just consider what else you might do to help yourself to create some more ease in the day. And I mean, that's just my biggest takeaway today is you matter. And if you're not feeling okay, that matters too. And it's not okay to do nothing about your not okayness. It's not okay. I care about how you're doing. I care about how you're feeling. And not but the last thing I'll say is, and I've said this for a few weeks now, and I said this earlier. Trauma is a thing. It's real. What's going on the outside will often mirror things that are going on the inside. And I don't know anybody here in this space who hasn't been through stuff in their life. You have maybe some big ticket items in your history. I was telling you one of my stories earlier. Things light up on our insides that mirror what are happening on our outsides. So you need to be extra tender, careful, loving of yourself now. And also gently inquire if some of your stuff is being reactivated by what you're witnessing happening in the world. It's totally okay to be part of this movement now, to be supportive of this movement, to care and want to be of service and be in your trauma response at the same time, to be frightened by certain things. And I'm not saying that's what you're exactly going through, Tiffany. I'm talking to the broader group here, to all of us, because you're right that so many of us can relate to this letter. Things might get triggered for you. A sense of helplessness might, if you live in the United States, especially right now. I promise I won't. I don't want to get into politics here, but sometimes witnessing the leadership and what's going on right now, I know for me there's this feeling that lights up that there's nobody, like the parents of the United States are missing in action, and that mirrors my experience growing up, where I was left alone for long periods of time. My parents would pay me $1 an hour to babysit myself, but I was way too young to be staying alone, or my mom would leave me with strangers. Same kind of a deal. And they weren't strange to her, I'm guessing, but I didn't know them. So trauma can reemerge. It can reassert itself, and there's something here asking to be looked at. And you don't have to psychoanalyze yourself. It may help to talk through things or whatever. And certainly I'd love to sit with you if anything ever felt relevant like that. Like you could use some support, for sure. But ground yourself and allow yourself to breathe. A lot of times, if I move into overwhelm, energetically, emotionally, I feel a sense of overwhelm or like I'm feeling snappy. The answer is not to go into quiet meditation. The answer is to start moving. So I go out in the yard and walk a few paces and look at the flowers and take in the nature and breathing and just trying to ground my body, my feet on the earth. And it's just as easy to do that inside your apartment, upstairs, if you can't leave the house or you don't leave the house or whatever right now. You can sway from side to side and you can rock. You can let some of this energy move. So, these are the feelings I'm having. Sitting with you and feeling into this. Please don't judge yourself. Please don't be hard on yourself. All of how you're feeling is okay. And we need to take care of you before we take care of the world or anybody else. We got to take care of you. So, be willing to put everything on the chopping block. You know what I mean? Be willing to reevaluate everything you're doing. Recently, I changed my work schedule a bit more, just to have more space. It's good for you to ponder what would help you now and just really treat yourself like you matter. Okay? So thank you again for writing. I know a lot of us relate to this. I relate to this. So thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. And friends, again, I could use a letter or two. Anything you want to talk about now. This is a time none of us has been here before, really. In the middle of a pandemic, or as I keep calling it, the pandemic. And this movement, the Great Awakening, I'm going to start thinking of it that way, the Great Awakening, the Great Awareness. It's okay to take time. It's okay to make space. It's necessary to honor. That is honoring the energy of this time. So, and I know I tell you this all the time, but I'm there every morning live on Instagram at 9 a.m. Chicago time. That's Central Daylight Savings Time. I'm there because I care. I know this is a tough time. And I love us, and that's me putting my hat in the ring, doing something to be of service now. And so please come, avail yourself of that love and support. And the replays are always on YouTube, every day. So make sure, if not me, somewhere you're receiving support that feels helpful to you now. So, friends, it's Saturday night. I'm going to go have a little social distancing tea with number one kiddo, spend a nice time with her, and number one husband, and enjoy. We're having a much colder day. I have to go get some skivvies on because it is cold. I have to go find a hat too. It's like 52 degrees right now here in Chicago. What's happening? So I'm sending you so much love, and please don't forget how love is viral now. How much love is viral now, and love is really what's going on, my friends. Love is also an awakening energy. It's activating. It's got a big backbone, love. It's here. Okay, it's me, Robin. I'm going to see you next time or in a few minutes. Bye-bye. Life is very short, let's make the very most of it. You are a precious gem and I love you. Do 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 do. We are here to shine and shine bright. You are a gem and I love you. Do 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 do. Life is precious and you are a spark of the divine. So shine like you know it, rock it like you mean it, 'cause you really, really mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it, and mean it. Don't let crispy people tell you that you aren't sparkly, 'cause you are, 'cause you are, 'cause you are. Thank you. I like that. I love it, honey. Thank you. Give me a kiss. Thanks.